Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Styrian Star Oracle and me, Coyote. How are you? Today, I thought I'd do a little bit of fun. Oh, we'll see what happens. I've never done my cards quite like this. I'm still going to pull them from the aspect of, oh, I've got something on my thing. I'm going to pull it from the aspect of what the cards will have to say tonight about, you know, doing our dream, doing our creative work for our dreams. The reason is that we had a March new moon, March 2nd, and it is all about building, focusing on the creative of what you want to bring in. Very positive, very strong, very potent. Going for it, bringing it into being. The energy is really strong for fantastic manifestation. At the same time, I believe I'm understanding March has some astrological challenges. I'm sensitive about that little thing. I don't know what this is. Probably yogurt or salt. Because there's been a lot of salt on my car, and this might have rubbed up against someone. I was trying to clean it the other day. So, anyway, let it go, let it go, let it go. Just pretend, I'll just have to pretend this is part of my dots. So, I still want to bring in that as beings going through our evolution and dealing with spiritual war in the mental and in the field, the cosmos, the ether, skies, in the planet, on the planet, and on the planet specifically, while we deal in these bodies and with different people. And they are going to, manipulate till the very last, that they can hang on. So, okay, they're gonna hang on and use the mind. So Cat might want to come in, but I'm gonna shut that door just a little bit because I can hear it, and it is not what I want to compete with. So we might hear a second kitty want to come in. So eventually, she usually does. Thank you, everybody. So I know I probably started to advertise this for Laurie Eisenhower, but she did have a gentleman, I think named John, an FBI person, and he was giving some very strong. What he was going to prove later was with evidence and or knowing what's going on. For those people who have seemed to follow conspiracy or are going to be open, some of what this man says is things I've always known. There is such a big mind control that fear is the biggest virus. Fear is the biggest instigator of propelling you into actions when you don't even really know that what's happening is really real, except your mind perceives, hears, and will do this thing. That isn't really good for you, but that's how the energy of that fear is propagated through frequency, through repetition, through force, through begging, through coercion, through lies. And for some of us that have been aware since we were children, and we heard about Nazi Germany, and while I wasn't there in this physical body, the very propaganda that forced or compelled or aligned or supported those to keep on following the German regime and what to do, or lie propagandas based on fear. And this particular gentleman went over a couple of examples. So, given that, even at all times, there's all kinds of energy going on, but March being a month of great change, while it may be bombarded by the end of these energies that are conflicting and want to control and are going to dredge up, and they are being dredged up to show you. And a lot of you will get it that much of what you're seeing on mainstream media is a lie, that there are just photos that just are not true. And the way that they're trying to get you is an emotional hook through culture and children, which is the very thing that the angelics, the alliance, the off-worlder good ones, us who are wanting to just know truth and be out there, we're knowing that there are bombings of places that have been evil, rescue of people and or little ones, exposing deeply the Iranian government. It's not the people, like the people themselves not bad, they're scared. Just like, oh gosh, I'm gonna say it. Some of you motherfucking Americans, you motherfucking asses are so fucking scared. You're so scared and you're too wound. You are never gonna know the truth. You're gonna die with the lie. And at the same time, you may be on such a trajectory that you're not going to even admit you could have done something different because you're too embarrassed and too much on the mind control role. Some of your friends and or strangers or people are going to see that in you. And if you are fortunate enough to have an epiphany, you will come out of it. But there isn't any way to make anyone come out of a spell because they have to be willing and they have to receive a kind of their own spiritual epiphany, their own spiritual intel. Something has to just irk and shake and wake their soul, and some glint that they'll go, oh, what have I done? Or what can I do now? And that still being said, I'm going to ask the cards to reveal the iconic support of suggestions to maintain as we spell cast, visualize, and bring in and talk more about where we really want to go as individuals in your own dream life, like planet, lending that good energy every day, that positivity. Now, granted, some moments are going to be, bumpy at times, not the whole day necessarily, only if you choose that belief. Like some people getting up and it's a rainy day. I haven't had my coffee yet. It's raining out. And this is what a rotten day. They haven't. It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're saying that they might even be saying it at 5:30 or 3:30 in the morning if they get their cup of coffee from another human, and that's the posture that they take, and that's like their belief system. That kind of sucks to me. I am judgment of that because it's like you just give yourself an appetite of a stone when you could just say, I'm breathing, it's raining, the rain's good for the planet, the rain's good for the animals, it's good for my flowers. After all this, like snow, if you have snow, all this great spring is gonna come. That's so when it comes, wow, that's great. But right now it is what it is, and I'm just gonna enjoy today. I'm gonna have my cup of coffee, I'm gonna meet these people, I'm gonna do this next thing. There's these little bits of joy. You're breathing. And one day on this planet, we will breathe air such as like you've never breathed before. Because a lot of the chemical shit is going to be lifted from the air, from devices, from the soil, from the clothes that we wear, from the products we use in our body. It's going to make a huge difference in our skin, in the clarity of our mind. That's why it's good to set intentions, have tools, talk as positively as you can, be interested in attracting other positive people as yourself or even of a higher vibration so we aspire higher. Okay. So I wanted to also talk about a little, also I talked about the moon, the new moon, and so that's what we're gonna like go for in this. And those of you who are interested, like wickedly interested in astrology, and sometimes I'm not because it just seems so like there's a lot of information about how stars come together, planets together, what house they are in, the longitude, the latitude, the time of year, the seasons, um, their iconic histories, probably what they're going to be now in the age of Aquarius and moving forward, and then all the numbers and patterns and sequences and colors and tones, frequencies that can go along with that. So for right now, that's not really like who I am, but you can certainly get those through many other channels. Sometimes I think Laura Eisenhower knows about that. Jeanine, who's Jean by Tarot, by Janine, she knows that. There's people associated with, Amanda Ellis does. And who else can I think of that I could share with you? Like maybe one more person. There's Psychic LJ or JL. I believe she's Irish or Scottish. She knows a little bit about that, I believe. And, just you can YouTube some other things. But once you bring up these other names, then you led to other people who you may resonate with and can find further information. So we're going to do this about the cards. I'm actually going to pull, when I pull a tarot on that read, my intent tonight is I'm going to just look at 3 more tarot cards separately that tie into tonight. And it's interesting that these 2 cards came up, which is the Queen of Earth and Patience, which is a number 5 about adventure and change. And I believe big movement, but I definitely remember adventure and change. I could look those up later, but this wasn't exactly, they came out when I was wanting cards to show for tonight. So I may do these too, but yeah, we'll just see how the rest of this unfolds. And then I wanted to talk about the black obsidian. This is just one example. It's a polished black obsidian. And so I wrote some things or wrote some things, and I wanted to pull that up to read to you. And anytime you go on YouTube, there's so much to read about each and every crystal and stone that could be super helpful to us. I did not write down the hardness of properties and such like that. So I'm going to just go to one of my emails, and I will be right with you. Okay. So here's the black obsidian. I probably have other examples of black obsidian. Like somewhere I think I have a snowflake obsidian. There's that little dots on it. And I probably just have some black tourmaline. I have shungite obsidian. No, I think I had onyx I've given away. I may have a piece of black obsidian in my car. I'm going to set that down for. Can I put this on that you could see it? Let's see if I have something you can kind of see it while I'm talking about it. It won't be super fancy, but maybe I can just do it so we can take a look. Okay. So we will, let's see if we can make it, stand up a little bit so you can kind of see it. Maybe not. Oh, I see it a little bit. Yeah. Just trying to get it. So let's see. How's that? Not too bad for a makeshift. So, black obsidian is also known as Royal Agate, Xaga, Glassy Lava, Volcanic Glass, and Glass Agate. It is born out of rapidly cooling lava flows from a volcano. This is why it has such high potent energies. It combines the elements of fire, water, earth. Black obsidian has been around since prehistoric times. And that's going to be interesting too, the timelines of our true Earth. Looking into other, let's see, powers of the Earth, looking into other realms used by shamans and those who want to see in these realms. Grounds the soul and protects against dark entities and evil. Protects you against dark energies and the shadow of dark that you may have within yourself. Improves health, detoxes the body from toxins. And there's many references about digestive system and overall organ health. I think it helps the heart. There was like a list of what I was reading that it just did a lot of wonders and clears the body systems. A calming stone, it may help improve, empower, build confidence, and overall positivity. It's a very grounding spiritual stone. So you can work with it from your star chakra, your root chakra, and up. And the star chakra is, it's below the root chakra. And I honestly can't remember if it's 8 feet or not. But it's interesting that I will usually say, like, I shield my chakras 8 feet below my feet and 8 feet above my head. That's just something I do. And I know that there's a star chakra, and that's the below the earth. That's what I believe they're calling star chakra. If I have it mixed up, because I think there's an earth chakra and a star chakra. But I'm just going with what I believe I read recently, so you can always correct me. It's no big deal. I'm glad to be corrected. So as a protection, when you work with your angels, that helps protect you against harmful energies. Wearing the stone against the skin provides a stimulation of health benefits. Placed on the third eye area, opens up your mind for cosmic messages of guidance, and still, work with your protective mantras and breathe into the trust of that. So it's a very great stone. In fact, during these last few years, a lot of the woo-woo community, they were like, carrying it, wearing it. Some did bracelets. I really didn't do a lot of bracelets. I just carried stuff in my pocket around me. I've never really tried to wear it. I think I wouldn't mind to make different wrist bracelets and such and start wearing it, especially since when I was speaking on another time about the azaztulite, I was wanting to make like earrings and do my pendant and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind, having a really cool like wrap bracelet that had a whole bunch of these different things. And so just kind of wear it on my wrist. So I think I'm going to look into that for some future time, because I would really like to wear my own jewelry. And I haven't really seen anything, sometimes I see bracelets to purchase, but they're either too big for my, only, like some gals are big, so fine. You can have it. I don't want to have mine really super be hanging. I kind of like them just resting against my skin. So we all have different size wrists. It's just finding the right thing and being in the right place and pocketbook in which to, because once you see something, it's like, you'll see something else. So you kind of want to treat yourself to have these wonderful tools and friends. Okay, so I'm just going to get the cards out. I have a whole bunch of crystals around me, ones that I used in healing session and got recently, and a couple of ones that I've never put away. Let's save those for another time to talk about. And sometimes in collecting so many, I remember what some are and some I don't. I keep revisiting them. We'll go over Shungate, for example, next time. This is the one that had 3 things in it. I think it was tiger iron. So, but then that's my fishtail. Selenite happens to be a little bit flatter on one side. And then this fishtail, because it's fishy the tail. I'm going to do this. Maybe that. And then like part of the fish. Right? So the tail is swimmy. All right, so I'm just going to put things aside for right now. Oh, I have a little, I've been struck, well, actually, with the, this is the, I showed this the other night. This is the azaztulite, and it does flake. So I have a little bit that flaked, a little bit. And I think eventually I'm going to be making like candles, and I'll be looking for not just the stardust. I do have some stardust of crystals, like it's dusty powder. But what I saw at a shop I went to, and I think Magic Treasures has this, she's made some beautiful candles. She actually put some crystals in them, like little dinky pieces, like kind of little slivery pieces or a little bit bigger than that, and some other stuff that was really appealing. And so there'll come a time when I'd like to do that because it's just so beautiful. I would do that for my new home, and maybe it'll give you ideas, and also, to sell, because I think they would make really beautiful room enhancements, nice gifts, and so forth. So anyway, let us just put these aside. I'm going to keep the 2 tarot that are featured. I'm going to keep those aside for now. I'm going to put this somewhere. Get all my gems out of the way. And the cheat sheet. So thank you very much, Deb, for coming, and those who might see this afterwards, thank you so much. So let's pull a few cards from the Oracle deck on the support as we begin, especially in March, to either continue or begin to create our dreams. Some insight into absolutely, being supported with it, sticking to it, absolutely trusting that, feeling that into being, and just some insight that may influence and conjure and command forward that which you are wanting to bring into being. So what will help us? What images and messages do you want to give us about commanding our dreams into being, living those lives, having those experiences, the messages that we have from our guides, from these teachers that come through the cards. And for anyone new who comes on, this is Art Through the Star Stream Oracle. I'll show you an image of that. Oh, okay. So we'll have 5 cards right now on this board tonight. This is what the guidebook looks like. So Art Through the Star Stream Oracle. And this is one of the iconic images that was painted as part of one of the tools of assisting. So we'll still do the numbers. We may read a little bit, and again, these cards speak in more uplifting ways. They help us recognize any challenges. They help support that which is childlike spontaneity or heartfelt vision quest or desires. And let's go. I'm going to have to get some new paper. There are 5 cards here. The first card is a shapeshifter card. Transform, experience a new reality. And that is a number 4. I'm going to break down the number 5 for the cards now, because we have 5 cards, which I always think is a very cool number for us right now during this change. So we will go over this card in a moment. I'm just going to show you the numbers. Create the pathways. And this is a 6. Become and anchor your energy, which is also a number 6. So we have the angel 66 speaking to us. We have a double numbers of 4, 2 4s here as well. So this is reflect and release, because we might have things, our beliefs running our biology and things we have to let go of. So I'm going to get to that. And here's a number 7, guide needs you, act from your crown and heart. All right. Ten and 10 and 7, 27 and 9. All right, this is all good. You'll see how it ties together. Put that. All righty. Shapeshift, transform, experience a new reality. Quite frankly, we have a lot of like blue, aqua blue, and almost like the hint of amethyst. So we had a lot of throat expression. We have a lot of crown chakra expression. We have the mythology or truth of the Selkie shapeshifter clan that would come to the shores and take on human body and have a human life. And as long as its pelt was still where she left it, they could come back to their bodies, to those sea bodies, and experience their other family as well. If their pelt was taken, they were forever in human body. Very interesting, isn't it, that some would be left behind and maybe in time develop a kind of sadness to never be able to go quite back to that other place that called their souls. But this gives you the encouragement that you can shapeshift and you can have a new reality, that this can happen anytime, this can happen any age, this can just transform you, allow yourself to transform you. And the number 4, I'm going to read that now because it's the beginning card and it's really important about our dreams. It's going to be page 16. Number 4. And it's going to come up twice, number 4. So being your leap of faith, get out of your comfort zone. Honor your foundation in your temple, your strength of beingness. Be in you. Be in yourself. If you need a routine, a new routine, start it. Because sometimes we have old routines that rut us. Your temple, your mind, body, spirit, we need to honor it. So honor your dreams. It's not a joke. It's not for others to piss on. It's not for others to judge if you can have it or not. We're in the age of Aquarius. It is a time of our magic. So I would say, get out of your comfort zone. Create a sacred space. I'm having issue with this too. So one new thing that I did do is I stopped coffee with honey and cream. And that helped started on the 28th. I believe I started the 28th of February. And then we went like into March. And it's been very easy because I kept talking to myself and I kept mentioning I'm going to, and it might have been even 4 months. It might have been even, let's say, November, December, so January, February. Let's just say I knew in November, December, I definitely wanted to quit coffee with cream and sugar. Could have been even October, but I wasn't ready. And so I kept talking about it and I kept thinking what day feels right? When do I want to do it? And I just picked a goal, or I picked a time and I thought, well, definitely by, March 1st, I really want to aim toward that. And then I was Saturday the 27th and Saturday the 26th, Sunday the 27th, I was still kind of winding down. And then, I was ready. So I don't remember that it truly happened the 27th of February. I believe it happened the 28th of February. And I was just ready, but I kept talking to myself. And that's really okay for you to do too. You want to fix something, or you like to take something, or you have to move, or you have to do something new. You're not quite ready, honor that. But you can prepare and prepay by speaking to yourself, and you'll speak it into being. And right now I found a tea that I really like. I took the opportunity to try a green tea, and I right now kept my honey. I'm not ready to give up the honey, but it adds no cream to it. And I found something that works for me. And whatever your little bit of adjustments are, you find a way, even micro ways, to make those incremental, steady change into the bigger picture. So we can shapeshift and transform, experience a new reality. Now, sometimes because we're still in the human body, it may seem to take some steps. And then, if we practice real alignment, it can happen overnight. I myself, I would like to win $40 million, at $40 million just to show up in my bank account, or $40 million, or its equivalent in abundance in a very good way. Now, that's a nice dream, aspiration, magical alignment to have, just as much as a cottage, vacations, and all the art and all the health ways, the mystic ways that want to help others into recognizing that very same thing in themselves. So, shape shift, transform, experience a new reality. And then we have create the pathways. I just said this the other night. We had Ellen of the Ways. So we have the goddess antler being who is, she's some, now this one I've got to read. This one I still get mixed up with. So 42. Let's see. Okay. So helping us with our dreams and manifestation. Be the facilitator for others to follow. Use discernment in marking out that path, weighing whether it is useful and leading to a positive journey. So you have some decisions to make in our creating our dreams. And it's not about, oh, it's too late. It's really like, what brings you the most joy to create your dream? Like after, seeing all the convoys, all of the truck drivers, oh my God, there's a part of me kind of like, I would like to be a truck driver. And I got scared because them 18 wheelers, or, even if it's half the size, that's a pretty darn big vehicle, right? Food trucks, all kinds of food trucks, clothing trucks, couches, whatever they're going to be inside them. Now, I can drive them, I can't lift everything, but that would be an interesting manifestation. I do admit, no, I haven't forgotten about my art and my healing art and pendants and candles and soaps even. And then, just doing this tarot oracle work and healing work for others, and being aligned with crystals and tools, and just to share those tools with people, and providing a space for spiritual cinema and potluck and community and friendliness, of safe haven for people to come and express fully who they are and their dreams, and to be supported. Like that's what I feel right now. Plus, that I would go on the stage again and act, because I think that would be very fun too. And then these are ways that I want to empower myself and make my dreams happen. But we have to take a look at discernment, marking out that path, also not getting overwhelmed by our desires, and then also deciding whether whatever we're doing, whatever choices we're making to partner with that, are leading to our positive journey. So while we are creating, not everyone will be able to help us or come to our aid or support us. So it's also being a little discerning on doing your magical practice a little privately, and being in groups like this where people wish to support all that you're wanting to attract in or explore, bring into being, and create that new human life. So create the pathways, and it's number 6, which is about getting rid of negative energy. Rid your life of negative energy. Connect to your highest self. Let your guidance, let your angels whisper to you. Let that things that bring you joy start doing that. And it might be line dancing at 92 years old, or 70 years old, or 58 years old, or 25 years old, or 18 years old. It doesn't matter the age. It's like the interest of, especially now that we're coming back with no blankets on our face. Things are lifting as well, even in this things I mentioned earlier about some chaos amidst the power struggle, and the power that we are, and the power that's available for us to speak our joy and dream into being. So those groups will be available, and it's very likely that the group you seek is seeking you, or the thing you seek is seeking you, which was what Rumi says. Rumi says the very thing you seek is seeking you, because you are the only one who can express it that way. I'm the only one who can express this that I'm doing this way. And it will hit people and reach people and pull people and influence people and draw people and support people and hold people in really good ways who are ready. And I really believe that I'm on this cusp of people calling me in waves to get, their cards read and energy work done, and be starting to do my art, moving into a new place. And that's what I hold for myself. And if I've had a few stragglers who are interested in pornography or sex, or they just want to hear my voice, that's me getting rid of my shadow. For example, you may have some shadow of disbelief that's still lingering. You just have little moments of, oh, yeah, but that doesn't work. I know who I am, and that was temporary. Bye. And you still focus on the thing you want. So embrace inner peace and your love self-care. You can do anything, connect with your guides the best you can, see the vision in your mind, create the words, feel the feeling, practice little bits every day, or as you vision just a little or feel just a little bit in that direction, let yourself smile and be easy. And say little mantras like, thank you for helping me into this. And this is so much fun, and I'm so appreciative. Just so appreciative. You just have an attitude of gratitude. This is another number 6. Be calm and anchor your energy. I had this the other night as well. This was really good. I'm going to show you the card in a moment. So, silent counsel may be appropriate at this time. Slow down and gather your energies. Ground yourself by projecting your spirit deep into the earth, and allow Gaia to flow into you. Aren't we going through those times? And part of our manifestation is slowing ourselves down and enjoying what we're feeling about the thing we want to show the world. We want to be in the world. We want to be in our own little self and community. And exponentially, our energy just radiates out from that joy that we feel from that mind, memory, and words that we're creating. And it says anchoring the Celtic ray. So the Celtic ray, I bet, is what this iconic Jesus person is wearing. And it says, so the author who wrote this and created this picture, who painted this, it is said Jesus traveled as a young man to Glastonbury to study with the Druids. He wears their sacred symbol of truth. Oh my gosh, can I show it to you? I wonder if I can get that closer so that will. There it is. So he's wearing on his amulet the sacred symbol of truth. Maybe I'll take a picture of that and forward it to Facebook. So anyway, so that's what he is wearing, the sacred symbol of truth. The mosaic is in the spot where he anchored the first wattle church and is considered to be the holiest earth in England. The design of the mosaic was shown, and she's saying to the author, on 12/12/93. It rose above the floor like a sun in the green light of spirit. I think the floor of Chartres was inspired by this one, as it would have been older, around 30 CE. I don't know what that is. 12 visitors arrived, including Joseph of Arimathea. They were given 12 hides and one hide equals 100 acres of land by King of Aragus on which to live and flourish. In the middle, built of a wattle and dome, was the first church dedicated to Mary. So a wattle must be a type of a land. This is a long-standing Somerset tradition. And so William Blake wrote this about this time in their tradition. And those feet in ancient times walked upon England's mountains green, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen, 1804. So this, I really love this and encourage this for people who, even if they're not going to read for others and they just do it for themselves, the cards are so magical. And this particular woman, so her name is Cheryl Yambreck Rose. And I think she must have her married last name, Cheryl Ambrecht Rose Hall. Because it's like Hall, I think is her married name. She went around the world and collected and saw images and went to sacred places. And then she drew these paintings that became oracle cards. But she's a very spiritual person. And she has given us, and she's given me, a way to convey how to connect us and remind us of our divinity, our galactic selves, ourselves that are part of the earth, and to be reminded that dreams matter, that we must go for it to find our joys. And everything that she's included in her images means something, is connected to history, is connected to mythology. I think the mythology of truth. And she's, to me, a very light spirit. So this is another number 4, which we're going to look up also, the angel numbers 44 and 66. Reflect and release. So this, to me, it could be the Jesus figure. I'm seeing it like a St. Francis figure because of the animals and the peace doves. But let me just get this straight. Oh, forgive me. It's titled The Essence of St. Francis. So yes, it is St. Francis. Oh, and there's the cat. Now, is that Mount Shasta or the Himalayas? That's really interesting that she has that. So let's just see. Contemplate deeply to get a clear view of events. Meditate in a temple without walls. The purity of nature and animals will help clear the mind. So if we can't be in a particular place with walls that's considered sacred, holy, and where we might be quiet within ourselves, we can find solace with nature, with animals. And I will just say, I have that one cat out of both. They don't both talk to me. But the one cat that talks, and she really knows. Like, she knows, I want to go out. Maybe 8 o'clock at night, maybe now, but she knows. She might be out for 3 or 5 minutes. She might be out for 35 minutes, no matter what weather. But she's done her thing. She's lived her life. She's asked fully. I know it's okay for me to go out. My human mind might be in the way, or maybe I'm lazy, tired, or I don't feel well. I don't want to let her out. But if I do, she knows. She will take care of herself. She is destined to go outside. She is really claiming and asking for that which she knows. She's okay. And she'll be back. Not too long. She'll come in. So more and more, I even want to pay attention to that because my animals are speaking to me. And we're going on a journey soon where we're going to be in the car together. And they're going to have little harnesses on. And it will be really important for me to acknowledge them. And also to acknowledge them because they may be feeling their own little fear. And they may be feeling their own little energies of like, where are we going next? And what are we doing? And I'll have to calm them and talk to myself. So let the purity of nature and animals help you clear your mind, help you with your dreams. Speak to a tree, speak to your cat, dog. Allow the birds to speak to you. Let the breeze of nature add to your dreams. Put that in your dream of what's next, that in your beautiful home or vacation. Or all of a sudden, the land around you seems to shift suddenly, where there are more birds or more animals that you're noticing that they're guided, they're inspired, they're magnetized to come to your area. and they love being around your energy. And that helps so much in your prayer time or quiet time, and just nurturing the temple that you're in, taking care of that soul that breathes life into the body that we're in, you're in, and we're honoring that. And then the last card, of course, which is Gaia needs you. We're part of the earth. We're part of the earth. Act from your crown in your heart, number 7. So number 7 is also a very spiritual number. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. The last card out of the 5, spiritual awakening. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. Good fortune, good luck, synchronistic of events. So by doing all these things about allowing ourselves to transform, to create those new pathways, to be discerning about those new pathways, to anchor calm, to honor this soul and tradition of you and your tradition of creating what you're creating, that you are from the stars. I mean, just honoring the energy of like, I'm doing this. I'll allow myself to see it and have it. Reflect and release. Reflect in a good way what you have. Be in gratitude over your pillow, over your toothbrush, over your nice pants, over grandchildren, over that you have a roof over your head, that you have a car that works or gets you from A to B, or you are brainstorming possibilities for what's next, and you have that time. You are not, some of you that hear that, you may be in a transition, you may be living at a shelter, you may be sometimes on a street corner. Let that be okay, and find some little gratitude every day. Someone gave you $1. People smiled at you. You have a place to sleep. Yes, that place will be temporary because, of course, you're aimed at a bigger picture. You're aimed at your own sovereignty. You're aimed at a different kind of style of life, but you're where you're at. And I understand. I've been homeless. It's not easy. I did not have a drug abuse or drink abuse. I had circumstances happen with me that I attracted even for my own good. And I understand. But every day there was prayer in my life, and sometimes I was frustrated. And there was prayer in my life and gratitude because those things will help. And I did attract someone to talk to on a few occasions about that, which was very, very helpful. And you will too, because that change is constant. Change is a law of the universe, and change is the only constant. The law that changes is change. So release best you can things you can't really, really control. You can control and repose yourself. You can control your choices. For the most part, you can. And really, 100% you can. It seems like we can't. And I realize with some of the homeless people, it must have been even super harder when they were like, you can't get in a shelter unless you get a jab. Mother fucking stadies. And I mean that not in a respectful way to, the boys in blue group. Okay, great as a rule, great as a group. The people committing acts of inhumaneness against others. That riles me. That riles me. And I must find gentleness and forgiveness and kindness because they were dumb. And they were showing, where can I go? Where can you go in your divinity and in our forgiveness level and in our joys? And in a sense, it isn't anything than to forgive if we're having life's experiences and we're very, very clear and very, very accountable. Just, I'll do it again. No, I won't do it again. And then Gaia needs you. Act from your crown and heart. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. The last card. You can transform your reality. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. Gaia needs you. Gaia needs your special gifts. Gaia needs you to show up. And they all add up, these cards, all added up to a number 9, which is share your wisdom and gifts with the world. I don't make this stuff up. Share your talents and wisdom with the world. Cosmic consciousness linked to compassion, empathy. Are you giving away your energy? Are you really feeling out the energy where you should be? and that maybe that's not the best way to say it, but where it's best for you to give your energy, or are you using your energy wisely? Because you got to fill up on you first. It's not selfish. That's self-fulfilling, empowering, so that you can be service to others. Right? We're going into service of others. So we've got to learn this self-love, this going within, to be very deep and kind, mostly kind. I know mine comes out with swear words sometimes. I get it, because I don't mince words, and I'm maybe sometimes not as nurturing. However, we've got to fill up of ourselves and our potency and power and wonderfulness, and go, I'm cute. Gotta say, I'm cute. I'm cute. I really want this. I'm gonna call it in. I'm gonna command it in. I'm gonna decree it in. I'm gonna say my decrees. I'm gonna say my dream stuff 3 times a day. When I'll really allow myself to believe it. Otherwise, I'll gently leave it alone for a little bit and just feel good about being grateful, which might be a great offset. Be grateful, act grateful, name your gratitudes, especially when you feel like you can't say, I decree, I declare my home. I decree, I declare my new car. I decree, I declare this help from angelic realm, galactic realm, elemental realm. I decree and declare that my energy is super expansive, cleared out, amazing, powerfully aligned to all that I need, and better than that. And I hear the Jesus Christ. I hear my cousin, I hear it within me. You hear your angels. You hear the Lord Sananda. You hear those holy alchemist energies and leaders who went before us, who went in mastery, and they're helping you. Have you asked? Thank you for helping me today. Thank you for watching over me. Thank you for helping me in my car. Thank you for looking out for me. And then those are kind of ways to also be in your creation. I think another good way is to write. And it's not like asking every day, like in desperation for the same thing, but sort of feeling, talking through how nice it is. And thank you so much. And I'd like to receive it around this time. And I'd like to receive an epiphany around this time. I think it's okay. Excuse me. I think it's okay to name some dates. And I think it's okay to be flexible with those dates, but I'm aiming for this, and on the highest and best, I'm just calling it in. I think that's okay. And if it doesn't happen like the first of the month, but being open and still being expecting, preparing, and feeling good about it, it happens at 10. Almost a few days. That 10 days you were percolating in more alignment. You were percolating in a kind of a releasing or a cleansing or gaining more information about that very thing you want. That now is, you know it is. You know you shouldn't wait and move. That is the very thing you were waiting for. It showed up. Because if kind of a thing kind of shows up and it's not bringing you the same joy that you were acclaiming, it ain't the right thing. And you've got to have the courage to say, well, thank you. I know that my right thing won't make me question it because I've called it in. My dream is. So that's cool. Let's see. I'm going to kind of go over the 2 cards that I used tonight for this. So let me just write down what they are so I don't lose track, because I still want to pick this. I still want to pick. So 14 patience. And this was the Queen of Earth. And I'm going to go back to those because I did pick those for these cards are so new. Okay. I wanted to pick 3 cards separately about partnering with our dreams, the support, the way that we might also be supported from these images, what they're telling us about these desires, about this life, about this stuff. And so that we will still, I don't want to say hope, but don't always care for the word hope, that we are truly resonating. We're resonating with that which we really want and desire. And the cards are also giving us information about that resonance and that desire and the clarity, certainty of it. Sometimes I do it that way. Oh, you know, this is so funny. Where are you? Gotta keep that aside. Okay. So then we're gonna go back to the Queen of Earth. All right. Here are the 3 cards. I'm going to use 4. What came up was the Tower, which is usually about change. You know, foundations, change, systems, ideas. And let's see, the Chariot. I always think of the Chariot as news. Page of Earth. Actually, what came first was the 4 of Air and the Page of Earth. So I have a little bit of reading on these to do. I haven't forgotten about the Queen of Earth and the Patience. Since he's represented tonight's theme, I'm going to bring that up and then we'll go into those. But I think these are all going to complement in the way that the Oracle cards complemented. So when I first picked tonight, I believe Patience came up first. It was number 14. So basically in tarot, this is considered one of the like the major icona cards. So, which also is a number 5, and remember that I had 5 for the 5 cards. So 5, these are all really great messages. The 5 is adventure, change, and manifestation, appreciation of the world around you. So having gratitude. Okay, so patience, moderation. I'm not always an advocate for patience. And I'll have a conversation, I think, on this later, because there are some postures, patience, tolerance, have been a little twisted for me. And I feel like there are times we say, oh, you must have patience. But I think it goes deeper than that for me. And let me see what the author said about this. And let's see how it resonates for bringing in our dreams and really staying steadfast with being comfortable and creators of the life we are making and can have. This card reminds me that patience will bring me into recognition of and alignment to my purpose. All my needs are met, even though I may not see it yet in the outer visible world. The angels are looking out for me. Moderation in all things is required right now. This is how I'm going to take it for, in other words, I mentioned earlier on March 2nd and tonight, March 3rd. I mentioned that this is a very powerful month and powerful moon of manifestation. And yet, there seem to be systems and chaos coming up, especially things to be discerned about and some lies, definite lies, and also lots of scare tactics. Because for someone to mention the WAR word and show you, oh, what's happening wherever, and show people crying or say that they're crying or whatever. In fact, it's construed that people are in turmoil. Now, it's not to say that they're not if they had to leave their homes because they were concerned about bombings, and they should have left their homes because of the type of bombings that there are, that nobody would want anyone innocent to die. And yet, in certain times of great change, there are going to be people that leave the planet and there are casualties. And some of that is very appropriate, whether we know the reasons completely or not, because we all have a timeline and we all have a soul journey and purpose and contracts. Let me read this again to see on this, because this also has helped me in terms of something this author said. The card reminds me that patience will bring me into recognition of alignment to my purpose. That is just holding steady. This is holding steady and knowing it's all working out. All my needs are even met, though I may not see it yet in the outer visible world. That all my needs are met, and more than that, it's all being aligned for me and my benefit, for my highest benefit. The angels are looking out for me. Moderation in all things is required right now. That is, you don't have to rush and jump and do a huge XYZ. It's just that doing your best, moving ahead slowly or holding, knowing when to hold, knowing when to slightly move ahead, and enjoying what the journey is. That's what, to me, enjoying what the journey is and knowing that everything is working out to your benefit. The Queen of Earth. So we're going to go into the Earth card. Queen of Earth. And it's interesting because I got two Earth cards. Okay. So the Queen of Earth. I am in the flow, committed to co-creating with spirit effectively and efficiently. I do my best to never leave a job half done. I am dedicated and determined, knowing my efforts will pay off. Now, the author describes it as I'm on the wrong page. This was all sounding so awesome, connected. Maybe I'm going to read the Queen of Earth. I was reading the Messenger of Earth. Forgive me, but that even sounds like something we could use, right? Well, forgive me. Let's go to the Queen of Earth. Practical, grounded, trustworthy, earthy, resourceful, gardener who tends to what has been planted. I am committed, down to earth, and clear about my goals. I am honest as I work with others to keep it real and true to what we're doing and the challenges before us. I use my resources wisely, whether they are finances, opportunities, or people willing to help me in my endeavors. So the Queen of Earth says she's practical, grounded, trustworthy, earthy, resourceful, a gardener who tends to what has been planted. She's committed and down to earth. She's honest. She's working with others to keep it, as pure and true and clean. And she's using all her resources wisely. Now, in creating something on your own, sometimes it's going to be a little tricky and it may not feel like you're using everything wisely. But I think when that's partnered with patience, or in this case, what the author was telling about trusting the angels and helping, this also helps with our next steps. It helps with our declarations of what we're bringing into being. Let's see what the other cards had to say. So the Tower, this is going to be interesting. I don't even know where the Tower is. I usually have trepidation around the Tower because I think it sometimes is very ominous. And the Tower, it is a number 16. That's a number 7. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. Surprises. Things happen really fast when this card shows up in a reading. It appears it would portend a total paradigm shift or sudden upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take its place. It could be that I've had an epiphany. Whatever it is, the card tells me unexpected events will be very interesting and offer opportunities for a positive transformation if I remain present with open eyes. Well, it does mean shift, change, challenges. And here it can be, again, our spiritual awakening for creating our dreams. And it's a number 7, right? Prepare for spiritual awakening. And then I did get a 7. So you know these numbers that I've had double sevens. So I've had 44. I've had 66. I have a 77 here. And the Chariot, victory. Everything I've worked for, including the obstacles I have faced and overcome, is now part of time of victory. I've learned to see all aspects of my life as essential to my growth. I have fallen, but now I am risen again to freely and truthfully, fearlessly, skillfully. This is a new time. So we've fallen, but rise up. There's victory. All connected to having our dreams come. And the four of air. Healing, meditation, rest, recuperation. It's time to rest my mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness or boredom. The mind needs quiet to think and find clarity. If I allow my mind to rest, I'll get greater clarity, and my mind will be sharper. This will be time for a break. I need to take care of myself. Well, while we are creating your dreams, just remember that is your self-care, and to take care of yourself. And again, remember I was mentioning with one of the other cards to in the Oracle read that sometimes with our dreams, we need to keep them and share certain ways we're declaring and ways we're bringing in with just certain folks, because it's not the right time to share very, very outwardly, but by your very declaration and commitment, these things are in, you just don't see them yet, but they are in being. They are isness, they are. And you're just walking and they're coming to meet you as well. So the fourth of air is healing, meditation, rest, and recuperation. And I think, when we are creating by intuition, by certainty, by care of what we really desire, there needs to be a little rest and repose. Because it's energy and we could be drained, but also as a recharge. Because it takes a mindset and attitude of allowing this to happen and banging it out 9 to 5, 5, 6, 7 days a week, churning the gears to totally be in school all the time with no reprieve of our passion, of the full passion, and having to do it in an old paradigm way, a structure which is so draining. We need time to just rest and not do it the way I just said, but moving away from it into something that in our lifetime is going to feel more easeful. The energies of that alignment, the possibilities that bring that bliss and joy in, that feels much more certain, believable, and uplifting than trying to jump through loops of study and tests, buying $200 books, showing up for other people to spew out information, working for other people who don't really value us, and we still learn then to be unworthy and not be of value, and learn to skip and fudge in relationship. That doesn't feel like happy outcome for me. I can't do those things anymore. I have to really show up more authentically, and I'm fully alive and happy as that happens. And now the page of Earth. So I'm in Earth, and let's get the page. Commitment to prosperity, first signs of tangible success, undeniable evidence that hard work will pay off, dreams grounded in reality. I sometimes have the issue with hard work. And maybe you can offer something else. I think the hard work for me would be, we have to get out of our comfort zone to help create a new us being in the physical body. But sometimes I relate hard work to working in jobs that truly are not reflective of me or my joys. So what she I think she probably channeled this part. Everything starts with a plan, and I'm beginning to see results generate prosperity. I'm a doer. I get to make my own decisions. I have the ability to track what I need. So that feels a little bit lighter and a little bit freer to me. Think about this. The bamboo tree takes 5 years to actually sprout and shoot up to 90 feet tall. Someone passed this to Facebook today, and I've known of this story. When you are creating your dream and you want to show your friends, right here, here it is, it's right here, it's right here. But you're not in that super speedboat. You're not in that new Jaguar or Mercedes. You're not in the souped up car. You're not maybe in that new designer outfit or that home, whatever it may be. You're not having tea from the Alps and waving hello, but it's there, right? It's there. It's percolating. It's growing. It's that seed that's going to meet the earth as it's ready, as it's all its cellular parts, all its intelligence comes together. It's that baby in the womb. That 9 months is the better time for a human baby to, fully come out. Sometimes they come out a little early and with still that nurturing, they blossom, right? So that seed is like waiting. And so after 5 years with nurturing, tender care, not kicking the ground, not digging it up again, saying where it is, there's green. And within 6 weeks, it might be 5. The other girl today offered 5 weeks, but definitely within 6 weeks, you have a 90-foot bamboo tree. So that seed being is germinating, functioning, and hearing, and thriving, and growing. It is, but you can't keep messing up the soil. You have to water it. You have to protect it from too much sun. And then, so the same with our new selves, our bodies, our monies, whatever those will be, our stuff that we want to surround ourselves with, the coziness that brings us joy to see and share. So these 4 cards for me were more reflective of the other oracle cards. And I would say that these 2 cards, while they could show support, the patience and the Queen of Earth, and also because I started to read one wrong, I would say that I did choose these because they called me and they were just nice to put as a foundation there on Facebook and YouTube land. So I think that the cards that I read tonight, both Oracle and the tarots that came up, were really, really helpful. And I don't think I picked a singular one for the other ones like I normally do, but it was quite a long reading. We've got an hour and 13 minutes with all that information, quite a lot to follow. So we're just gonna whoops. Yeah. Because Adams, Christina Black, whomever and whatever you are, bot or real, not allowed here. And we don't take you seriously. Send you back to where you go. So if you have any question, Deb, and you're still here, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be signing off. And I know this was quite a long one, as they have been, but I'm hoping that this was still good. It was fun for me because I just tried something new anyway, and getting more into the tarot. So I love them so much. So I'll give you a moment just in case you're there. I know sometimes you might be thinking of something, or maybe step back to the computer. And anyone else that sees this on another occasion, thank you for checking out my channel. I put information in the description below about the Black Obsidian so you could reread it. And I also put a way to get in touch with me as well. So did a little bit of that. All right. And just wait in case you're writing. And yeah, this was like really, I'm going to try one more time. Well, whatever you end up doing tonight in your end of the world, You are powered by the stars. You are the key. Be open to activate the power within. Because we are all so magnificent. We need to have more of those conversations, more discussions. Even when we don't agree with each other together, we can find solutions that fit the many instead of one, because one size will never fit all. Accept the frequency of love and care, the frequency of love that permeates all things, where even evil will go back to where it once came from, since it cannot sustain in that type of light. My little coyote heart just loves you. Thank you for showing up today, and I will see you next time.